It's another original BW Sports One production. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Combat Zone here at BW Sports One and Southern Indiana Combat Productions. That's right, folks. SICP2, the second coming, live March 4th from Evansville, Indiana at the Veterans Memorial Coliseum. This man here will be in the co-main event, Travis Foster. Welcome to the Combat Zone. Thank you for coming on with us. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. So, abs- actually, you got to first tell us, everybody from BW Sports One and SICP World, who Travis Foster is in combat sports. A lot of people may not recognize the name, but you've been around for a while now. You've had a ton of fights. Tell the world, tell us here at BW Sports One and SICP the career so far for Travis Foster.
Yeah, so this month makes 10 years that I've been in mixed martial arts. I started January of 2013, and now we're in January of 2023. So yeah, I've been in for 10 years. I fought 7 amateur fights, won all 7 of them. Went pro too early, and had kind of like a cowboy Cerrone mentality when I went pro of just fight anybody, anywhere, any weight class, any day's notice, which is why my record is 6-13, which is a terrible record, but it doesn't reflect my skill set. It just reflects that I'll take a fight on a day's notice, jump 2 weight classes up, which probably isn't the smartest thing to do.
Yeah, well, I'm never going to condemn somebody for doing it. However, yes, you've went through those times and you've learned from it. It sounds like, you're kind of stepping back. I don't want to say stepping back that much a little bit, but you're kind of taking one step back to pause and look at things and then kind of reevaluate the way you want to go. And so you kind of told us that. Where was that change in your mentality? Where did that kind of come from being where you were to where you are now?
I think the change in mentality came. It was around 2020. I had took this fight. At the time, I was 4-10, and I took that fight. I think it was like 4 weeks notice, which was decent amount of time to prepare. And I lost that one. I lost that one by knockout. And after that was over with, I was thinking, oh, you know what? I'm gonna just jump right back in it and fight again. And every single regional promotion was like, you have way too many fights. You can't fight anybody on our scene because you have way too many fights. And then all of the big promotions like Bellator, LFA, all of those, big top names wouldn't dare take me with such a lopsided 4-10. So I found myself in a very like, I want to curse, F word position, because I had too many fights to fight on the regional scene, and then not enough wins to fight in the big leagues. So I'm like, dang, what does that leave me? That literally left me like in a gray area of where I had to self reflect, because for the longest I was just take a fight, take a fight, take a fight, take a fight, not really think about it. But in that 10 month, that was 10 months that lasted, where I had to sit there and be like, man, what's wrong? And then the lowest point for me was when I got offered a fight. It was April of 2021. It was an amateur guy. No disrespect to any amateurs out there. I respect all fighters. It was an amateur guy making his pro debut, and they accepted the fight against me. For somehow, some way, I got approved. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, man, how the heck am I 14 professional fights in, fighting an amateur, making his pro debut? I mean, no disrespect to him. He put up a great fight, and that was a great fight. I won split decision, so he's a great fighter. But that was like a low point for me, because I'm like, man, 14 fights in, there's guys fighting for UFC titles, 14 pro fights in, and I'm over here fighting an amateur. So that really made me take a step back and really change the way I look at accepting fights from that point moving forward.
Now, have you had anybody, kind of backing you, your right hand man type, say, anybody kind of giving you advice and guidance in this journey?
Yeah, so recently, as of the last we're in 2023 now. So as of 2020, so after that fight I was referring to with against the amateur, after I won that one, then that's when I signed. So the gym I'm at, Jackson Week MMA, they actually launched the athlete management right after I won that fight, and I was the first athlete they signed to the management actually, and they designed it for like young up and coming guys that are trying to get to the big show, or some people that like in my situation where they just have like they're talented, they're a great fighter, but they just don't have the record to get to like a LFA or PFL or Bellator. So at that point, once I signed with them, every time I got offered a fight, I would run it by them. I mean, because my answer is yes every time, no matter what, which is stupid, honestly. But that's how most fighters think. Most fighters are like, "Oh, I'll do it. How much money? Where? What's the weight class?" So I
Hmm.
had to stop being the one that's in charge of making those decisions. I had to start deferring things to my coaches. Mike Winklejohn is a been around for decades, and he's been in UFC title fights. He's coached the Holly Holmes, the John Jones. So I'm an idiot to not listen to him. You know.
That, absolutely. I mean, it definitely sounds like when that change, kind of a mentality change in yourself, you worked from inside out. You found a team, you found a management, you found a home on the MMA side of things. So, congrats to you as far as, making those strides and changes in your life to better yourself. That's what we want from everybody, especially from athletes such as yourself going in there in a combat world and putting your lives out there. So thank you.
Thank you for acknowledging it, and and putting it in the way you just worded it was I couldn't have even worded it better myself. So thank you.
Hey, not a problem, not a problem, man. I'm not just part of promotions. I'm part of the family there because not only did I've gotten in there, I've seen it firsthand. I know what you guys have gone through. So, like I said, best of luck. Congratulations from what you've done. Best of luck going forward. Now, speaking of going forward, you're making the trip here to Indiana March 4th. Southern Indiana Combat Productions SICP2, the second coming, going up against Cadillac. Zack Davis, what can you tell me? Obviously, we don't want to give away everything that you're working with right now, but what can you tell me that you see in your opponent, Zach, that you can pinpoint and kind of like give me some keys to your success in this fight?
Well, first thing I must say is, when I first looked him up and I saw his nickname, I'm like, man, that's the dopest nickname I've ever heard. I was kind of jealous. I'm like, Cadillac, and it got a nice ring to it, Zach Cadillac. I'm like, okay.
Right?
But yeah, I've studied his fights, and the thing is with studying fights is no two fights are the same. So the version of himself that he showed in the film that's out there, there's a good chance that he might come in there a whole transformed, totally different monster on March 4th, which is what I'm expecting. You always have to expect that.
Right.
He's a great fighter. I looked at his body frame, and he seems like my assumption is he prefers to keep it standing. He prefers to stand and bang, which is always a fun matchup. That's always a fun matchup. I mean, I respect the wrestlers, but the wrestlers are boring, man. Nobody wants to watch wrestlers. Nobody wants to fight against somebody that just wants to hug you and hold. I mean, it's a sport. You got to do what you got to do to win. But I'm excited to be able to go up against a guy that's a high level striker, many knockouts, vicious knockouts. I've seen where he's put people lights out, so that's dope. Props to him. All of his fights all of his professional fights have been stoppage, so that's exciting. That's something that gets me like that grinds my gears and gets me going. And I'm just looking to have fun against him. Honestly, that's a lot of secrets to success. And anything you do is having fun, loving it, and having fun. So I think my key to victory is having fun. Go out there and just love it, have fun, love every single aspect that has to do with it. Love traveling out there, love weighing in, have fun interacting with the different fans that are out there, the ones that are for me, the ones that are against me. It's just a sport, nothing personal. So I'm gonna just enjoy the whole entire process, enjoy the training leading up to it, and go out there, get our hand raised.
I like it, man. I like it. You said it is just a sport. There's nothing personal. People may not understand that when us fighters, you guys say it's fun. We're just out there having fun. They're thinking, man, how can you have fun? Getting beat on the whole time. It's like it's just like any other sport to fighters. Just like a quarterback is to football, and a center or a point guard is to basketball. You know, fighter is the combat sports. That's his form. That's his fun. That's his form of art per se.
There you go. And it's a real to touch on what you just said. It's a release as well. On this regional scene, very few of us are full time. Excuse me, full time fighting, and very few, very small percentage don't have wife, don't have kids, don't have a full time job that they're doing on the side. So for us, when we step into the gym, when we step into a fight, for us, it's an escape from maybe this full-time job that we don't really want to work, or maybe if you have 2 kids, 10 kids, 8 kids, however many kids, it's an escape from responsibilities of the household, being a man of the house or a woman of the house if you're a woman fighter, your full-time job that maybe you don't like. So it's therapeutic. It's crazy to say that fighting and getting punched, getting choked, arm barred, leg locked is therapeutic, but in a weird way it's very therapeutic.
Absolutely, absolutely, it is. All right, so before we get into the sound off of all your sponsors and everything, we got to put you through something we call here at the Combat Zone called Rapid Knockout. I got 3 questions, absolutely nothing to do with the fight world. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right, question number one: favorite food.
Favorite food? That's tough. I'm gonna have to say Chinese food, but from New Jersey, not from New Mexico.
Okay, all right. That's what's the difference?
Oh man, there's a bit. You don't want to know the difference.
Duly noted, sir. Duly noted. I'll make sure not to go get any Chinese food when I go to New Mexico next time.
Yeah, don't.
Question number two, and this may be a two-part answer here. So, when you're getting ready for a fight, or when you're just driving around, on a Sunday afternoon, listening to something in the ride, what's in your earbuds? What's in the stereo? What's coming through the speakers of Foster?
See, that's a tough question because there's two. There's the angel side that has the clean version, and then
Uh-huh.
the devil side is like, man, give the uncensored version of what you listen to. So
Uh-huh.
on a clean version, I like to listen to maybe like 80s rap or like 90s rap, cause like Rockin or like something like that. The very old school, cause a lot of that you don't have to search up the clean version because they already made it clean.
Right.
Or like Mob Deep. I like listening to Mob Deep too. So I'm from the East Coast. I'm from New Jersey. So everything I say is gonna be East Coast. Jadakiss, Styles P, DMX. You can't go wrong with DMX in my opinion. DMX go hard. Um, yeah, I'm big on the East Coast. Lately though, I've been listening to a lot of Rod Wave. He's a newer guy.
Hmm. Honestly, I couldn't tell you a lot of the new people that's coming out lately. I'm an old school guy. I just hit, I got the four in front of my number, so I like the 80s and the 90s.
Oh, so you know about the Eric B and Rakim then?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. See, when we take you back to that, this new stuff, it's like, man, I got to get caught up on it.
Yeah, the new stuff, honestly, man, is a lot of it's distasteful and just kind of hurts your ears.
I would agree. From what I've heard, I know there's some stuff out there nowadays that is, still on the level that I like, but most of it, I'm sorry, it's just trash to me.
Exactly, I agree.
All right, Travis Foster coming in hot to Indiana, Evansville, Indiana, to be exact. March 4th, SICP 2, the second coming, Evansville, Indiana, Veterans Memorial Coliseum. It's gonna be fun. Travis, now's your chance right here. Fans, friends, lovers, haters, all sponsors and people that you want to give any shout outs to. The floor is yours, brother. Have at it.
Alrighty. First things first, I want to thank God. I wouldn't. None of this would be possible if it wasn't for God, Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. Then next, I want to thank the promoter, anyone that works with the promotion of Southern Indiana Combat Production. Yourself, thank you for doing the interview. I want to thank everyone that made this possible on the opponent's team. I mean, people think, oh, why would you thank the opponent? Because you can't fight if the opponent doesn't agree and if he doesn't remain disciplined and responsible and do what he needs to do, get his medicals handed in, sell his tickets, show up to the fight healthy without pulling out. So thank you to the opponent, Zack Davis. Appreciate you. Thank you to my team, Jackson Wink MMA, Coach Mike Winklejohn, Coach Greg Jackson. This the team is way too big to name everybody. So sorry guys, but everybody at Jackson Wink Army. My sponsors, Del Preet Chiropractic, Crunch Fitness. Also want to thank 3D Cuts Barbershop. And those are my main three sponsors right there. I want to thank my wife, everyone that's sparring partners, everyone that's running with me, making sure I'm on point for the fight, everyone that's traveling out there with me. And I think I hit almost everyone on the head. Yeah.
I love it, brother. I cannot wait to have you here and watch you do your thing inside that cage. Travis Foster, like I said, he's coming in hot. SICP 2, the second coming, March 4th, 2023, Evansville, Indiana, from the Veterans Memorial Coliseum. We cannot wait. Presented by D. Patrick Ford Lincoln of Evansville. Travis, thank you again, sir. I appreciate your time. I cannot wait to see you here. We'll have to take some pictures and get some, get some great stuff going when we're together in person. And man, again, thank you. I can't thank you enough for everybody in BW Sports One World, Southern Indiana Combat Productions. That guy right there is Travis Foster, one half of the co-main event coming March 4th, SICP 2, the second coming. And until next time, we're out. Peace.